And away we go. It is the aftermath for the final time this regular season. Brought to you by Galactic Chicken right here on BearcatJournal.com. Go see our good friends at Galactic Fried Chicken. They are located in Dayton, Kentucky, right down the street from Newport on the Levee. So right across the Ohio River. Easy to get to from anywhere in Cincinnati. They've got the best fried chicken in town, chicken tenders, chicken dunkers, great French fries, coleslaw, you name it. And, of course, the Galactic sauce is out of this world. Go see them. Dayton, Kentucky, Galactic Fried Chicken. All right, Aaron. 73-63, TCU wins. It's not a lot to analyze about this. Cincinnati turned it over 19 times. I think they turned it over either 3 or 4 times in the opening segment. They turned it over, I think, 5 times in the opening segment of the second half. 5 of their first 7 possessions in the second half. They turned it over in a 3-point game at halftime. Because of that, they ended up, down right around that 10-point mark, which is where the rest of the game lived. The crazy thing, Aaron, is they got stops at the end. TCU was one of their last 8 from the floor. Cincinnati just couldn't make that late surge to get back in the game. The turnovers doomed them, and we'll get into the whys and the hows and the whatever. But let's talk about it. I'll turn it over to you.
It was sloppy right out of the gate. You just were missing passes, missing catches. You were mailing it out of bounds. Shooting wasn't bad today. You slashed 44, 41, 67. Not terrible. You just could not take care of the ball with a 30.6 turnover percentage. That's horrendous. I think you had more turnovers in this game than you did in the last 3 games combined. Your only saving grace was the fact that you could make some threes today. Their shooting wasn't the issue. It was just getting the shot off, I guess, because you couldn't really do that anything, not much inside the arc. We saw Mustafa Cham look like a shell of himself today. He couldn't catch incoming passes. He didn't look like he was comfortable rebounding. He didn't look comfortable doing a whole lot out there at all, to the point where in the waning minutes of this game, as you're still trying to play catch up, you saw extended minutes from Halvin Zella because you're trying to get anything going at that point. Baba Miller did not look great.
9 minutes isn't necessarily extended.
Look, when you're in under 10 minutes, under 8 minutes, and you're running Halvin Zella in a game that is a must-win, something's gone terribly wrong.
He played 9 minutes, Aaron. Again, you're putting the emphasis on the wrong syllable.
It's just to emphasize the point that Mustafa Cham was not good today.
He wasn't.
Not good.
He wasn't. He struggled. For sure.
Baba Miller was also not good today. At least not shooting. Could not find a shot. They bottled him up. Only ends up with 4 shots in total. Only ends up with 4 points. He rebounded just fine. He had, as a team, you out-rebounded TCU, but you gave them plenty of points off turnovers. You lose that battle 24-7. You lost the free throw battle by quite a bit, as TCU.
That was another major factor.
15 of 21. I mean, Jamie Dixon talked about it at halftime that they needed to find more free throws because they lead the league in free throws. They like to get to the line. That's where they get their 3-pointers, because it certainly wasn't making them. You only made 6 of 22 as far as TCU goes. But 15 of 21 is way better than 4 of 6 because, again, Cincinnati just couldn't get downhill. They couldn't get to the rim. And when you're not able to get to the rim, you're probably not going to get a whole lot of free throws. You chucked 31 of your 52 shots were threes.
Yeah, the way they shot it, I don't have a problem with the number of threes they took. The problem was, and Houston plays like this. Iowa State plays like this. They push you out. They try to take your offense, and I didn't think they blitzed as much as they hard hedged, where they just didn't give the guard a path off of the ball screen and push the guard out. You never really got the ball to Baba like on that right wing, where he likes to operate either backing guys down and then passing out of it, or getting, to the rim and scoring. You never really got into that portion of your offense because of the job TCU did getting you, pushed out and taken out of the triggers that start your offense, the plays that start your offense. So they did a good job on Baba, but we knew that was obviously going to be a focus for them. Dan Horde on the post game said he hurt his thumb yesterday in practice, which I did not hear that on the broadcast, but we were at the Holy Grail. So, but I think, guys, it's Utah. I don't think that Kansas State can end up last. I'd rather Kansas State ended up last. I think Utah can be an annoyance, as we saw. I think Kansas State is mailed it in at this point. So, but then, yeah, one of those, I think it's one of those, and then UCF, and then Arizona is the path. So, not great. Yeah, TCU, the thing that is a little perplexing here, as aggressive as TCU was, and I give them a lot of credit for their game plan and their style of play, but they are incredibly physical. Like, they are trying to beat you up and push you around. They were called for 10 fouls today in the entire game. 5 fouls in the first half, 5 fouls in the second half. Some of that, unquestionably, some of that is on Cincinnati for playing passive. That first segment, TCU got in Cincinnati's head, and Cincinnati never fixed the problem. Is some of that on West? Sure. Some of that is on the players today. Like, they did not make good decisions. They put the ball in danger. What's the quarterback stat? Turnover quality or turnover ready plays or whatever it is. Cincinnati offered the ball up on a platter for TCU far too often tonight. But TCU was allowed to play very physical, and there was no repercussion for it. Doug Sermons, my God. What did they go to the monitor 5 times in the final 6-7 minutes?
It was a lot. It was a lot.
And he literally, he walks over to that microphone, boy, and he's ready for his soliloquy. I hate struts.
He struts over there.
I hate that. He was not why Cincinnati lost, but that's sometimes on the road. The home team is going to be allowed to play super physical, and they're not going to blow a lot of whistles. They didn't really, especially the first half. I think Cincinnati only had 4 or 5 fouls in the first half, which I would like to have seen them give a foul at the end of the first half, as opposed to allowing TCU to just pass the ball into a wide open 3 from the wing. You could have given a foul there and made them start over with 4 seconds left on the clock. I question that one a little bit, but other than that, I don't think this was a Wes Miller got out coach day. I think it was TCU imposed their will schematically on Cincinnati. And once again, Cincinnati's guards weren't up to the task of beating it. You were going to have to play like you played against Iowa State and their pressure in order to absorb what TCU was trying to do to you, and they didn't do it. They did not do a good enough job handling the crazy thing, Aaron. Here's what's wild. Remember, we talked about how TCU gives up a ton of, their assist rate on defense is really high because of the way that they pressure. Cincinnati had 19 assists on 23 made baskets.
Yep.
like an insane assist rate. But they didn't get the ball up on the rim enough because they turned it over so many damn times.
Yeah, I didn't see a TCU team that I thought was better talented than Cincinnati. At no point did I think they were.
They played harder though. They were more physical. They played better.
They did that, and they put a better plan together, and they executed it better. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
You got out coached and you got out hustled. But at no point in time, and I think that's what's the most frustrating thing about this game is the fact that you can look back at this game and know that it wasn't a better team that beat you. It was just the fact that they played better in every way. I thought they played better.
Joe, they did adjust. There were adjustments. I would love for you to tell me what they didn't do to adjust. They wanted to throw those baseline passes at the start of the game. They couldn't complete them. They got away from the baseline passes. They tried different things offensively. The guards didn't execute. You have the players on your roster. They have to play well. They knew what TCU was going to try to do. They knew they were going to hard hedge and blitz ball screens. Like, they have played TCU before. This isn't a surprise. This is a Jamie Dixon team. This is how they want to play. They want to be physical. They want to push your offense out. They want to turn you over, and they want to score in transition. And that's exactly what they did. It is on your players to make them pay for the things that they're allowing. They're allowing wide open corner threes. Cincinnati couldn't get the ball to the corner for guys to shoot.
They got it there. They just couldn't catch it.
Well, that's what I mean. They couldn't complete the play. You're getting wide open. How many? They missed it. I mean, they shot 42% from three. They probably missed 7 more wide open looks at three.
Probably at least. I mean, you missed 18. In total, you missed 18.
Jamie Dixon has an awful head of hair. My daughter and one of her friends were there. They were saying he looked like a skunk. Pepe Le Pew.
He does have a skunk stripe. I still think he looks as if he is undead and has been around for centuries. But
Cincy toughness. We'll deal with the offseason stuff in the offseason. We're talking about the TCU game tonight. I'm not answering Wes Miller questions. I'm not answering Big Slime questions. We'll get to the offseason when it's time to get to the offseason. Justify his usage of Harris. Celestine picked up 2 fouls. Now, would I have probably rolled with Celestine a little bit more there with 2 fouls? Yeah, I probably would have. But, has the Bearcats bubble burst? Probably. And if not, it's probably going to have to include wins over Arizona and Iowa State. And that's not likely. Abayev played a couple minutes.
Came in, hit a 3, and then picked up the foul on a terrible. Don't leave your feet, man. What are you doing? Maybe you don't do that if you play more throughout the season. I don't know.
Yeah. Should have put Sean out there when we saw how competent Buck is. Are you the same people that demanded that Sean Abayev be benched and be sent to fucking Exile Island, never to return? Come on, guys. Like, hindsight is always 2020.
Given, I had said this to some friends earlier in the game, and we finally saw it in the last couple minutes of the game. But given how much Mustafa Cham struggled in this game, are you surprised they didn't go to the Keyshawn Tillery 3-guard lineup with Maybe. Baba at the 5 more in this game?
Maybe. I don't know how much it would have ultimately changed.
You got to see them run a little bit more of the trap defense. You got to see them run a little bit faster. Some of the things that they struggled with was getting downhill. Keyshawn Tillery's not afraid to try and get downhill. Yeah. Maybe he could have picked up some more fouls, got to the line, altered some of the way that the game's being called. I just wonder if that was just far too little too late, and maybe it would have been just better going to something like that way earlier in the game.
I don't think you're beating TCU today with that lineup. Like, I get we're looking for answers as to how you could have fixed. But here's the thing, Aaron. What have we talked about? This team has played well because they've settled on their 5 starters, and those guys are playing the vast majority of the minutes. Well, they didn't get anything from Baba today, really. They got very little from Chom. That leaves it to Jizzle, Celestine, and Day-Day. Day-Day had a good game. He had 19. Celestine was, that 12 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. Awesome. Jizzle, 11 on 4 of 9, 3 of 7 from the floor. Like those 3 guys gave you what they could, but they need all 5 in this configuration because you're just not going to get a lot of production from your bench. Like we understand that. This was not a team through this entire stretch that like we can't even find really one game, Aaron, where you're like, man, the bench point-wise really gave them a lift and a victory.
Not since Keyshawn Tillery went off for like, what, 12?
11, 12. Right.
Yeah.
But you need your 5 starters to all play well, and they didn't get that today. They didn't get it.
Yeah, when your bench is collectively giving you, what, 3 of 8 or 9 points?
Yeah. Yes, Carice is healthy. Coach's decision did not play for the last month, essentially. Yeah. I mean, we talked about this the other night. Thick, undersized post guys give Chom and Baba trouble. So, guess what? Thick, but those guys, I didn't think Punch or Edmonds really did a whole lot. Punch got some points late at the free throw line. He finished with 13. Edmonds finished with 9. They only combined for 6 rebounds. Now they played through Punch quite a bit with the 7 assists, but I thought defensively Cincinnati was fine. Like they shot what? 44% from the floor, 27% from 3, 71% from the free throw line. Like defensively, I didn't think there was much of an issue, but you need Baba and Chom. How much have we talked about? Why is there a turnaround? Because they had 2 all-conference guys playing like all-conference guys. Well, today, they didn't play like all-conference guys, and Cincinnati lost by 10. That's not coincidental. That's why they lost by 10, because they didn't have their 2 best players play at the highest level.
Well, even if they played at this level, just turn the ball over 9 less times, and maybe you win
Baba
this
turned
game.
it over 5. He had more than a quarter of your turnovers. 8 of your 19 turnovers were from Baba and Chom. That's part of those guys not playing well. They took our bigs out of the game, and that's the problem. Yeah, that sometimes your best players don't play well. Now, for Cincinnati, it's unfortunate that it happened at the most inopportune time. TCU was shooting 50% for most of the game. I mean, the game's 40 minutes, man. TCU went 1 of 8 from the floor to end the game. That's a door open for Cincinnati to get back in it. They didn't.
They just dicked around the door.
Yeah. Like, I get everybody's mad, like it, But again, we don't have to create things to be mad at. We know exactly what to be mad at. They had a chance. Their 2 best players didn't play like their 2 best players. Through most of this streak, Aaron, it is safe to say Chom and Miller were the 2 best players on the floor for either team. They played better than anybody on the other team most of those nights.
I don't care what game you want to look at. If Baba Miller didn't have a good night, you lost that game almost every single time. I don't care what game you want to look at. If Baba Miller had a good game, you won that game almost every single time. I've said it 100 times at this point, and I'll say it again. This team has gone as Baba Miller goes, and today was no exception. 4 points on 4 shots is never going to get it done, ever.
Why not play 3-2 zone with the 3 guards? They played 1-3-1 zone with the 3 guards. It didn't. I mean, I think it messed them up for like 1.5 possessions. And then they figured it out. You don't do that because TCU's an interior-based team. So giving them one-on-one matchups at the rim with their two best players, probably not the best strategy. It's not like TCU was beating you from the perimeter.
Hmm.
30-14 in the paint. And you want to, the idea is to run a 3-2 zone and put less people around the rim. I don't think that's ideal. But, I give a lot of credit to TCU here. They executed their game plan. They got the style of game that they wanted.
Yeah.
Cincinnati was hot. Guess what? TCU's won 8 of 9. Like, they won 5. This is their 5th win in a row after beating the pants off of Texas Tech at Tech on Tuesday. They're playing really well.
I know you were in the car at this point. Jamal Mashburn likened this situation to a girl in high school. In the postgame, Jamal Mashburn talked about Cincinnati and TCU. Talked about a girl in high school. She has the braces and the glasses, and she's kind of googly looking, and then she grows up and develops, and she's beautiful. Well, Cincinnati still has the braces and the glasses, is what he said. And TCU has developed and matured, and now you're looking at the beautiful woman. And that kind of goes to your point. I mean, TCU, we talked about them all season, that they had not figured out how to. They were great at home. They had not figured out how to win on the road. TCU's figured out how to win on the road, and right now they're playing as dangerous as really almost anybody in the conference.
Yeah.
No more Keegan to Kansas City.
I don't know. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. That's a lot of. It's also hard too because you added a day, right? Like if they got the bye, it didn't have to be there until Wednesday. What do you mean?
Maybe. What do you mean? What do I mean? Maybe you added a day. If they win, you added a day.
No, they're playing on Tuesday now, Aaron. They don't get a bye.
Right. So you have to win Tuesday to get the extra day, is what I'm saying.
If they won, they play on Wednesday. When I'm talking about having to pay for the trip, I wouldn't have had to pay for Tuesday because they wouldn't have played on Tuesday.
Oh, yeah, well.
I'm adding a day.
Again, maybe, if you win.
Jesus Christ. Go ahead. Do the thing.
Okay. 19 points for Day Thomas, 7 of 14 from the field, 5 of 11 from 3, 4 rebounds, all defensive, 1 assist, 1 foul, 4 turnovers, 2 blocks, a steal, 37 minutes played, minus 16, and more hustle plays than anyone else on the team combined.
But also minus 16.
Yep.
Like 1 assist, 4 turnovers. The scoring was great. I didn't think he had a great day defensively. I thought Pierre gave him a really tough time. So they needed the points desperately. So that's not to take anything away from what we've been asking from Day for a couple weeks now. Need to get you back as a scorer, but it felt like, Aaron, he wasn't as locked in on some of the other stuff, even though today the shots were falling.
Yeah, I thought offensively he was as aggressive as he's been all season. Just unfortunately wasn't enough.
Yeah, I mean, 5 of 11, like they needed that from him. But they also needed him to be one of the guys that could handle that pressure, that style of defense where they try to get you out towards half court and keep you from initiating your offense And I mean, we've talked about this with Jizzle and Day Day for 3 years, Aaron. When that, like Iowa State, they attacked it perfectly, relentlessly. They got through the hedge. They played downhill. They made great passes. Guys hit shots. It looked exactly like how you're supposed to beat that defense. But we've also seen many times where they've gotten pushed out, and then they're back into dribbling and waiting for the play to reset, waiting for guys to get back in position. That baseline runner stuff that Day Day didn't seem to bother TCU nearly as much as we've seen the past couple weeks. Just frustrating from the guards today, and it kind of led to everything else.
Yep. Jalen Celestine, 12 points, 4 of 9 from the field, 4 of 8 from 3, 1 offensive, 2 defensive, giving him 3 rebounds total, 4 assists, 4 fouls, 2 turnovers, a block, 29 minutes played, minus 18. You want to talk about a guy who struggled defensively? I thought Jalen Celestine struggled defensively all day.
I didn't think he was as bad as a couple other guys, but he didn't have a great day.
Just thought at times he looked lackadaisical defensively, or even getting back down court.
He's slow.
Oh, there's a difference between being slow. I understand he's slow. We're 31 games into this thing. I'm well aware he's slow.
Foot speed is not his his highest attribute on 2K.
He just looked. I don't know. I don't think disinterested is the word, because I don't think that was it. I just think it was just. I wanted to see more out of him, just energetically. It didn't look the way that you want your team to respond in a game that is back to the wall.
Yeah, I thought he was okay. I think that the 2 fouls early took him out of a rhythm. They left Lovovicius open all day, but he's being asked to help there because you're trying to slow down Punch and Edmonds. Which, I mean, you did a pretty good job on them, but then as the ball rotates, and I thought TCU did what I wanted to see from Cincinnati. I thought the ball popped for them quite a bit. Extra pass, get it to the open guy. Like, there was a lot more of that from TCU than I thought there was from Cincinnati.
Which is crazy considering 19 assists on 23 shots. It still almost aesthetically felt, or 23 makes, sorry. But it still aesthetically looked as what this offense looked like in January.
Yeah, but I didn't think the ball moved as well. Like, they were still getting assists, but it was more like this guy passes to this guy scores. You know what I'm like? It wasn't like the ball was
making the extra pass to find the
like
open
there was
guy.
Hockey assists. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Ball goes in. Like we talked about paint touches for weeks now. I didn't feel like Cincinnati really got the ball to the paint and played inside out much at all.
Yeah. All right. Jizzle James, 11 points, 4 of 9 from the field, 3 of 7 from 3, 2 rebounds, both defensive, 2 assists, 2 fouls, 2 turnovers, a block, 34 minutes played, -5 for Jizzle.
I thought Jizzle was pretty good. I thought defensively he was probably the best of the bunch. He is what he is now in this offense, is kind of a spot up catch and shoot guy.
Crazy.
You want to talk? You want to complain about coaching? They found the right role for Jizzle, where the ball wasn't in his hands. He wasn't taking the air out of the ball, trying to hunt his shot. He bought into the offensive system. He was where they wanted him to be. He caught the ball. He shot it. The ball went in the net.
Crazy.
Josh, I think you're right. When the opponent is more physical and disrupting your offense, it looks like your energy and effort is lower than it actually is. I think that's right. Like, I think because you get frustrated as you're watching it. You know, your eyes tell you the other team is being more physical, and you get frustrated with your guys because of it.
Sometimes I think he just says things so I can say that's enough out of you, Borkowski, and then we move about our days. So We'll keep it moving, though. I agree, though, that I thought Jizzle had a pretty good day. Of course, you probably would have liked to see that point total, maybe closer to 18, but that's the difference. Mustafa Cham, 8 points, 4 of 8 from the field, 0 for 1 from 3, 3 offensive, 2 defensive rebounds, giving him 5 against a team that had no one taller than 6'8".
6'8".
And only one guy at that. 1 foul, 3 turnovers, a block, a steal, 28 minutes played, minus 16, and worst game he's had in weeks.
They never really got him in spots where he's been comfortable. Like they didn't get it to him in good position where he's hit that hook. They only got it to him, I think, once.
When they did it, he was doubled immediately.
They did a much better job than teams that have tried to double him of late, where that double has kind of been slow and he's been able to either spin away and hit the one-hander or to pass it out of it. I think that was probably the biggest advantage of them having 2 smaller, a little more mobile bigs, is that they were very fast on the big-to-big double. It wasn't like a guard coming who has to come from a ways away to get down there. It felt like almost immediate. As soon as Chom touched the ball, the double was there, and he did not handle it well. They really only got him that like 14, 15 footer once, and he hit it. Just,
the what was the pick and roll that they ran to him from Baba? That was the prettiest play, probably the whole game.
Well,
would have loved to see more of that.
That's what I was frustrated with early, is that was the first time I saw them use TCU's aggressiveness against them, because Punch was on him and Baba was setting up the ball screen, and Punch came all the way and sold out, and Chomp ghosted the ball screen. It's called a ghost screen. Chomp ghosted it and vacated. Punch stayed to double to do the hard hedge, and Chom went straight to the rim for an easy basket. They needed more of that, more false action, more things that took advantage of TCU's aggression. Instead, it was a lot of like jump passes, like lazy, like high arcing jump passes over defenders.
Uncomfortable. Yeah.
Yeah. Like nothing was in rhythm at all. Like TCU did a really good job frustrating whoever had the ball in their hands.
All right. We'll go with Baba Miller. 4 points, 1 of 4 from the field, 0 for 2 from 3, 2 for 2 from the line, 2 offensive, 12 defensive, giving him 14 rebounds, and yet nowhere near a double-double. 3 assists, 4 fouls, 5 turnovers, 35 minutes played, -4.
I mean, he's been at 6, 7, 8 assists and like 1, 2 turnovers for a while now. They couldn't play through him. Like the TCU just did not let him get the ball in position. Yeah, I said that earlier, Wolfie. Dan said he injured his hand in practice, but he was out there. If you're out there, you got to play well, especially with as thin as this team is. There's nobody they can replace Baba Miller with in any way, shape, or form. But it never felt like they got him to the spots that he's been comfortable making plays.
Yeah, he looked out of sorts all game, whether it was the hand, whether it was TCU's defense, whatever it was. He just did not look like the Baba Miller we've grown accustomed to seeing.
Had a tough night.
In the worst time possible.
Had a tough afternoon.
Keyshawn Tillery, 4 points, 1 of 3 from the field, 2 of 4 from free throws. There's your 6 free throws between him and Baba Miller. Crazy. 4 assists, 3 fouls, a turnover, 14 minutes played, -1.
It's okay. Had a couple. He had one stretch that he was pretty bad. I think the other 2 stretches were much better. But he did have a stretch. I think it was when he missed the 2 free throws. Gave up a layup, had a turnover. Like he had a he had a bad stretch, but bounced back from it a little bit. But I mean, he certainly wasn't the root of the problem today, I guess.
Yep. Shauna Bayev, 3 points.
Wolfie, real quick. Wolfie, they threw like the cross-court passes work against a defense like that if you do it right. But they didn't. They weren't crisp. They were lazy isn't necessarily the word, but that's you get because that defense loads up on one side, right? They're doubling the ball, they're putting pressure, they're hard hedging ball screens. They usually have 4 or 5 guys on one side. If you can hit the cross-court pass and then skip it, you should have wide open opportunities. The problem was they didn't throw crisp passes. Like they needed to throw those passes to beat TCU's defense. They just needed to execute them significantly better than they did. Like that's what when you go back and watch that Iowa State game, that's what they did. They made Iowa State pay for where they were lined up.
All right. Shauna Bayev, 3 points, 1 of 1 from the field, from 3. 1 foul, 2 minutes played, +4.
I mean, I will say I might have tried him a little bit more in the second half just to see if there was something there.
Maybe. What did you have to lose? Just the game?
Right at that point, like, hey, we need something to change the momentum. They never got it closer than what, 7? I think it was 10. They hit a 3. They cut it to 7.
Yeah, I think
they missed a layup to cut it to 5, and then TCU comes down, hits a 3. It's back to 10, and that was kind of curtains.
Yeah, I think after that you had the double hook and hold and the foul on Halveen that because the double hook and hold falls into him that he gets called for the foul, but we're going to go back and call that. We're going to go back and call that one right, but we're not going to disregard what happened after anyway. So stupid.
I hate Doug Sermon.
Speaking of Halveen Zella, 2 points, 1 of 1 from the field, 2 offensive, 1 defensive, giving him 3 rebounds, 2 fouls, 9 minutes played, +6.
Shit, +6. Maybe should have played him more.
Sure, that's it. And last but not least, maybe it is least, I don't know. Buck Harris, 0 points, 0 for 3 from the field, 0 for 1 from 3, 1 offensive rebound, his only rebound, 5 assists, 1 turnover, 1 steal, 14 minutes played, plus or minus of 0.
Just smoked 2 layups.
The 3 was terrible.
The 3, I mean, what was worse, the 3 today or the pull-up 15-footer that he shot 18 feet Tuesday?
Well, I mean, the 18-footer was worse, but that's because the 18-footer is a shot that you should be taking. The 3 is a shot that should leave his arsenal, never to be found again.
He made one a couple games ago, I think.
I mean,
when they beat Kansas, right?
This dude finished the season 6 of 34 from 3. That's higher than I anticipated that number to be when I looked it up.
He made 6. You didn't think he made 6?
I didn't think he took 33.
That's about 1 a game. He was good for
34,
1 a game.
34.
He was good for 1 a game, just, to let his inner buck fly.
17.6% on the season. Blech.
It's not great.
No.
Yeah.
No. You should have all known that it was going to be bad when the Daniel James picture instead of Jizzle James in the starting rotation. How you have the whatever intern you had working to.
Oh, that's an AI mistake completely. Guarantee. They just put the wrong thing that didn't tell AI exactly what to do. And AI was like, oh, James, Cincinnati. Here it is. That's got to be him.
The cornerback for the football team.
D comes before J. So AI on its way through the alphabet stopped at Daniel James and went, nailed it.
I guess.
I'm just guessing. Like, I don't know. But yeah, it wasn't great from the start. Like I said, 3 turnovers in the first 3 minutes. It was like, this is exactly, if they don't fix this right now.
It was 5 in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, but I mean, when it was before the first meet, the first 5 possessions, they had 3 turnovers. It was like, this is exactly what TCU wants to do. This is exactly how they want to force you to play. And Cincinnati just was like, yeah, that's how we play. We'll give it. They had 8 turnovers on Tuesday?
They had, I'm showing 7, unless they updated the stats after the game.
They might have updated it down to 7. I think it was 8 live, but they might have updated it down to 7, whatever. And you go from that, and they had 3 against TCU or Texas Tech. Like, they just had done a phenomenal job taking care of the ball. 9 in the first half, 10 in the second half. You give yourself no chance to win.
Yeah, like I said way earlier, you had more turnovers in this game than you did in the previous 3 combined.
And the reality is that that ends the bubble hope. Popped. Because you're not going to get with this resume, you're not getting in with 15 losses. They have 14 losses. The next loss will be 15. You're not getting in as an at-large with 15 losses unless you just have an overwhelming number of quad 1 and quad 2 wins. And they don't have that.
No, you're 3-11 now, I think, in quad 1.
Yeah, they just don't have
those 3 were monsters, but
yeah,
there were whales, but just not enough.
Yeah, it just, you don't have a resume good enough. And this is, second time we've declared this team dead.
Oh, I declared this team dead about 14 different times this season alone.
I would say I was pretty convinced that was the end after West Virginia. Mainly because I hate that West Virginia team.
I danced on this team's grave several
Crown
times.
bound, probably, Josh, because if you look at it, Cincinnati's 9th. I think the 8 teams above them are going to make the NCAA tournament.
I hope they decline. I don't want to cover this team in postseason play at all.
If they keep the coach, they're gonna play. You know that.
I think that'll be where we get our answer.
If they lock in, Cincinnati could beat Zona. I respectfully, strongly disagree.
If they lock Arizona in their locker room,
find a jail to lock Arizona in.
If they lock them in their locker room.
Yeah. I've said this before. I think if they played 100 times, I think Arizona wins somewhere in the 95 range. Maybe 97.
You are allowed to decline the.
There were teams that declined last year, but they had coaching changes. They didn't. They had player issues.
Like I said, that'll be telling.
Yeah, that they look. They play generally in these situations. I know Wes said before many years ago that we don't play in that shit. But you're contractually obligated by the conference. Pissing the conference off isn't a great idea.
I think he said that when he expected to be making tournaments, and he hasn't done that. So
right, yeah. I don't know, man. I don't have a whole lot else. Do you? That's the Aftermath, brought to you by Galactic Fried Chicken, right here on BearcatJournal.com.
See ya!